Do you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, let us start with the recapture of what we discussed last week. So we talked about origin of humans in the earth that happened in Africa, and it was around 1 million years ago. We got this biological form, and then the humans started migrating from Africa around 2 lakhs year before. Before that, we also was talking about the other species, Homo erectus species, which were living side by side with humans. They are Neanderthals and Denisovan. They also already migrated to different parts. Neanderthals migrate towards Europe, and Denisovans migrate to the east and towards Asia. And after that, when humans migrated, they all got mixed and got probably assimilated, breeding with the humans. So after everything, currently we have now only Homo sapiens, which is humans that are there in the earth, in the Homo erectus species. So this is the migration story, and even as latest as 4,000 years before, 40,000 years before, we had Neanderthals lived in Europe, and then of course there was Ice Age. Ice Age, when during the Ice Age, we had a lot of part of Earth is covered by ice. So agriculture was not possible, of course, and people were using, they were all hunters and gatherers. Around 11,000 years before, the ice got reduced, and people were able to access land, and slowly food production started. Food production, we cannot distinguish food production from domestication of animals and plants, because a lot of times we domesticate, breed the animals, and use the plants to feed them and cultivate the plants. So we also talked about how in the excreta of humans caused some plants come up from this excreta. Then this how women probably have seen it and started the agriculture or farming practices. So domestication of animals and plants go hand in hand in farming the production of food. So this farming probably happened in different places in different times, and they also had shared the ways of farming, and they also uh, found the new ways of cultivating and growing new plants, etc., etc. And also, we also discussed about the technology in the olden days, like for example, using animal skin to store the available food, and ready to. I mean, when the society evolved, there are few people who were able to specialize, so they were able to make parts and all, where the food can be stored, and then it can be consumed little later in time. So that gave rise to farming and the social setup. So that is in the social setup. Initially, we also discussed about doing the hunting and gathering. You need a lot of space for the hunters to roam around and hunt, right? But once once it is farming, you have more people can be supported in a less space, right? So farming gave rise to more food, and then and also people were slowly slowly saw that we don't have to work. Everybody does not have to work. Few people can work, and the rest others can probably do specialize on different things. So, and also during the hunting and gathering, when the hunters see the other groups, they will hunt them down. If there is a competition, they will hunt them down. Because the competition, like any animal, the competition is a threat for their own survival, right? But in farming society, in farming, and once the society establishes, you don't have to hunt them down. Once if you see a competition, if there is a small war, then you get that people as prisoners and get them work in your farming, and get them as a slave and get them work in the farming, and then you can produce more, right? And then so that is how the society is getting slowly formed, and then that becomes a property also. The saved food becomes property as well. So when there is a property, then you need to protect it, right? And to protect it, there is some chiefs in the clan or in the society. They evolved, and these chiefs slowly becoming full-time chiefs. Instead of doing any other work, they become the protectors of the property in the community, and they evolve as kings, right? That's why we call it the kingdom, right? The word comes from kings. So that the kings now, to survive or to protect this property, they need a set of warriors or fighters, and they want to maintain an army, right? So to do that, they need to get some money, that when the tax has evolved. So tax has to be collected from the individuals of the society, and the that will be given as a subsistence to these warriors. They will be like a full-time warrior. So specialization starts coming once the farming starts, and once there is enough food to sustain that specialization, right? So that's how slowly society started farming. That is where we start. So is there any questions so far on what we saw before?
No questions.
Okay. So let us proceed. So welcome back, everybody. This is session 3. So we will talk about, we already talked about major steps that humans took when they were progressing to become civilized human society. So just to recapture that again, the language, right? The language is one of the major steps that humans took because of the vocal development, right? Biological development of your mouth and inner this throat and all gave way to talk, right? To for the speech. So that enabled communication, and the communication and the language, the speech language, is one of the major steps which helped in communication coordination, right? With the speech and communication, they become better hunters and gatherers. Especially when you hunt uh, big animals, very big than compared to the size of humans, you need a coordinated effort, right? The coordination comes from this communication, and that was enabled by language. So that is one of the major steps. And then slowly people have become sedentary, meaning they stopped hunting slowly, and then they started farming. and then we don't have, yeah, no, not everyone has to work. Even if you work, you don't work in different places. You work nearby your house, nearby your land, and then you be there, right? So that gives specialization. So specialization is specialization there at that time is you become a carpenter, weaver, weave clothes for others, and or you become a farmer. All this specialization was possible with people have enough time to think about this special skills. Otherwise, they would have been just saving themselves from other animals or hunt and keep away, keep what is it, awake to protect themselves from other animals, right? So it was not easily possible to specialize, but with a sedentary lifestyle, that is staying in one place, they become and they started developing specialized skills. Then, of course, tool making. So continuous expansion of tools, are making new tools, gave humans as a what to say, a excellent adapting capability, right? So that you can adapt any different places. For example, humans were able to think, okay, how a ox or a polar bear can live in a very cold condition. So they see, observe it, and when they are able to kill the polar bear, they take its skin and use it as protection from the cold as a cloth or something that you can wear, right? So that is a simple tool, but that help people to live in cold places. Similarly, we can keep talking about different tools they see from the animals. When the animal tears open skin of another prey, right? They see that the sharp teeth or sharp nails that they have can tear open. So they use some tools, make it sharp, and a stone or something like that, make it sharp, and use it to tear, hunt, or tear open other things or break things. All these things they learn it from observation. And if you see, humans probably is the only animal does not have any special skills, except brain is our special skill or special what is it, extraordinary tool we or extraordinary um, that organ that we have. But if you see other animals, say if you see cheetah can run, it's the fastest animal. It has a specialized skill um, in its own body. Similarly, you can keep talking about it. Different animals have different such skills, but humans do not have any such special skill. It's an average runner. It's average, not very fast. All these average skills, if you see compared with any other animal, it is not very powerful animal too, and it's not like very fast climbers like any other monkeys. So what we have is, can we observe all these tools, all these animals have different skills. Can we make it as a tool and use it? So that is our special capability, right? So that's something that that enable humans to adapt, migrate, live anywhere um, in the earth. So, but if you have seen, Benjamin Franklin made this statement: "Man is a tool-making animal," which is not very surprising. So that is the extent people see as a human as a tool-making animals. Okay, somebody has given some chat. What is this? Yeah,
No,
definitely. Yeah,
no, I just mentioned that was a beautiful point what you made. We
yeah,
just copied
yeah,
from things. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Yes. Biomimicking is definitely, for example, thanks, Prasanna, for bringing this up. Biomimicking is something, for example, a butterfly um, is very beautiful and colorful, but it may taste very nasty. So a bird comes and tries to eat that butterfly, will not like it, right? But there is other butterfly which will develop that same color and colorful wings and all. The birds will not like it because it knows that from the color of this butterfly, it will not taste good. So this is called biomimicking. Similarly, right, to attract the prey, it'll have a sound which is exactly like the mate call. In all these survival capabilities are required. So biomimicking is one such thing, definitely. Yeah. Okay. Now it leads on to the next important thing. So how did we live, right? We all came as a so from humans, sorry, from apes to humans. Apes itself lived in as group. So we also lived in as group, and so when at the initial time during hunters and gatherers, we were like moving like a band, right? Moving like in one group. So keep moving. We all saw that these people, the hunters and gatherers time, humans were moving all the time because wherever the prey goes, you have to move. So residential, so just to get a definition of family, a residential group that shared a general survival goal and a residence. So that just took it from Wikipedia. So don't worry too much about definition. We all know in kind of intuitively we know what a family is. So in this case, to one of the main important thing about family is rearing um, the kids, right? So rearing the kids, that means that's why we will say that it's a survival need, not just we want to be together. It's a survival need. So which makes us that we have to live. It pushes us to be in a family. Okay. So in the initial family, they were living in bands. So and that's mostly matrifocal. Matrifocal meaning women led. Women led. So women were the head of the family. Why so? The reason is when there is a band, there are some group of men, group of women. They were all roaming around together. Wherever possible, they hunt, they eat, sleep, whatever. And then the sexual relationship in this family is completely free. I mean, the inbreeding all were possible, right? The fact that you came from same uh, mother gives the right to have as a give the right to a brother and sister as husband and wife. Okay, so that was the way it was, and also the women's um, uh, women only is known, right? So since this um, there is no what to say, there is no uh, rule or natural law of the sexual relationship. Only the individuals will know, only the women. They don't know about who is their father, right? So that is why it is only women headed. Women is known, and it's a women led family. Okay, so in this group, all children are common, and they all together rear the children, and no attached properties for the family. That means family does not have, see, currently we have a lot of things attached to our family, right? Each family wants a house, maybe a refrigerator, a TV, etc., etc. Lot of things, but there is no attached properties in this family. Actually, it is a band, right? As he said, it's a band moving together. So uh, that is how this initial form of family. So when you have something like this, obviously, as you know, there is no exact relationship between husband and wife, right? Today there is one husband. I mean, today there is a pair. Tomorrow there may be another pair. That is why we do not know who is the father of the kids. So that's why it is women led. Okay. So questions so far? Okay. And very importantly, food is scarce, right? You won't get food like what we have three times, no 3 times a day, no 3 times meals, right? When you have something, you eat, otherwise you fast. So that is a basic, what is it? Basic trend or basic rule there in the very, very early stage of the family. So no specific time for eating and all. You hunt, you get it in, you eat, um, eat whatever. Don't even worry about no diet control, nothing, right? You can't have a diet control there because the food is very limited. So you take it, eat it. When it's available, you eat like fully, right? Because you don't know when it's going to be available next. So it's fast and feast. That's the basic norm of the society. So, so that is how the initial family setup completely, completely, what to say, not bound anywhere, migrating family, and no properties, and fast and feast. Okay, but if you see that they keep slowly this changes, right? Slowly this changes and becomes little different when later as the agriculture grows or agriculture evolves. How does it change? If you see, when two group of hunters and gatherers fight, right? When they fight, if one group is better than other, right? Women observes. Important role for women is keep the count of group. So obviously this is survival need, right? You cannot reduce the number of count. If you want to, if you want to survive, the group should be big enough to fight other group, right? So it was women's role. Women only can give birth. It was women's role to keep the count in the group. If the individuals are weak, weak individuals are not good, right? Weak individuals are not good for group, isn't it? So, so women observes, okay, when there is a fight, who is fighting strong, who is fighting weak, and and they select, right? So how that selection happens, right? That's called natural selection. We will talk about it when we talk about evolution. So, but women obviously sees it and see that, okay, some individuals are better than others. Then they slowly find out, okay, these individuals are they became because of this relationship. Okay, so they keep avoiding
சார்
unwanted.
நீங்க அந்த வீக் இண்டிவிஜுவல் சொன்னீங்கல்ல, அதுக்கு
Ah.
ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் குடுக்க முடியுமா சார்?
So when two groups are fighting, okay, one group is easily killing some individuals, weak, பலம் இல்லாதவங்கப்பா. ரெண்டு குரூப் ஃபைட் பண்ணும்போது
ஆ, ஆ.
சம் வீக்கா இருப்பாங்க இல்லையா, அவங்களை
ஆமாங்க.
ஈஸியா கொண்டுறலாம் இல்லையா.
ஆ.
ஸோ அந்த வீக்கான இண்டிவிஜுவல்ஸ், அந்த வீக்கா பலம் இல்லாதவங்களை எப்படி அவாய்ட் பண்றதுன்னு விமன் பார்ப்பாங்க.
ம்.
ஸோ தென் விமன் வில் நோ தட் ஓகே, இஃப் ஐ ஹாவ் அ ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் with that particular individual, அதாவது with that say brother sister relationship, if with that if there is a kid comes, then the genetic thing is not good enough, the strong genes are not transferred, so they are weak individuals, they become weak. So women naturally observes.
ம், ம்.
Okay,
ஓகே
so
சார்.
then they avoid this unwanted relationship.
ஓகே சார்.
Okay, now so these unwanted relationships are avoided. Slowly they avoid mating inside the group. Inside the group. Now, how do you then survive? Right? You need the count. People should be there in the group. How do you survive? That's when they slowly transform into group marriages. Group marriages means there are two groups. They come together. They're different, belong to mostly different women, because women leading, right? You saw it's a women leading. So if two different women are two different groups that are led by two different women, so they come together, and then all these offsprings, all these individuals from this group, from group A to group B, they marry. So women in this group A married to men in this group B, men in this group A married to women in this group B. Instead of marrying inside this group, so they see that, oh, okay, with this marriage, better individuals are possible, because better different genes get combined, and stronger better individuals are possible when you avoid intra meaning inside group. You talk to different groups, have a relationship with different groups, you can you can have a better individual in the group, and so your survival probability is high. It's a natural process that evolves, and the family also takes it goes to the next level. Okay, so women take care of the children together. Even in this place, all women, right, when there's a kid, all women take care of it together, and then slowly there is a property of gains as the farming also grows. We also say that farming continuously growing in the last class. So farming, as a farming evolves, the livestock and grains, right, they become your family's property. Okay, that is this group's property now. Okay, so this is so this is based on the family again. Whether we like it or not, sexual relationship is one of the important criteria of a family, right? Without which it will break down. So here also a lot of things determined by the sexual selection. So that is why you need to we need to make sure that we understand this group marriage. There is naturally women avoid certain relationship in order to keep the count of the group so that it survives when there is a fight between this group and other group. Okay, so family evolves to the next stage. Of course, it continues to evolve to the next stage where,
Sir, may I ask a question?
yeah.
Sir, in terms of like the communal system of like taking care of children, do you think it impacted possibly how children were developed in those ages, or even for that matter, survival rates, considering the lack of system? Do you think that also had an impact?
What do you mean by lack of system?
Lack of system in terms of like the in general the healthcare of course is just a very far away possibility in that course. So because if in individual senses a woman couldn't take care of their own children, do you think being in a communal system of health of taking care or providing was also affected to like a higher chance of survival rates of these children?
Definitely, because see, health care and all are very recent, right? It's like not even more than 500, 600 years. What we are talking about is when agriculture started 11,000 years before, right? So, so of course, kids would have lot of kids stillborn, right? They will not see the light of the first day. That's all possible. Women will have to take care of that. But what else they had, right? Like when from the animal form, they try to evolve. They're trying to evolve, and then it definitely, as I said, this it is all like we are still in a system, or they were still in a system where you have to fight for survival, right? For that fight, you have to have a stronger individual. That stronger individual, how you rear in this group, is the main important thing. For example, say if there is a lactation is not there for one woman, since it's a group, other women will feed. So there is and then if one woman had to go for hunting or go for other agricultural activities, the women residing at home can take care. So the group gave a system, or it is a system prevailing there, which kind of took care of each other, and that's how it survives. And in fact, we thrived and we came to this stage, right? That shows us that it worked.
Right, sir. Thank you so much.
I'm not sure I answered your question, but that's what I think has happened. Okay. And slowly, women herself avoids this relationship of having multiple partners in order to make it more better individuals. And that one-to-one partnership started coming. Right? This is a little more patrifocal. Patrifocal meaning man-centric, and living one man, one woman, and still democratic, meaning you can always, if you don't like, you can always go back to a different individual. And of course, the community is there to take care of the kids. Children are still common. Continuously, it keeps evolving, and this from multiple relationship or group relationship, it becomes one-to-one focused relationship. That is how the family is going to the next step. Okay. continues. Of course, when all these are happening, your farming is continuing, agriculture is progressing, and this one-to-one becomes slowly strict because a lot of attached properties to the families. Okay. Because attached farmer property is nothing but your livestock, grains, utensils, right? Animal skins, etc. These are all properties of the family. So the question of how this property will get transferred, because in the olden days there was no inheritance, right? You have a property, sometimes it may not even be enough for your survival. But as the farming grows, you have more and more properties that can be there even after your own needs, right? After your death, men or women, who is going to take it to who is going to own this property? So that is something that causes little more strict family practices, because you should know who is your children. Then only you can pass it on, right? You can pass these grains and all you want to pass it on to your own children. That is when it transforms from the democratic one-to-one relationship to little more strict relationship, which we are seeing now. But still, family has like an extended family with the grandparents living together. We might have all these 80s, 90s kids or 70s kids would have encountered this. But now it's all very nuclear. But extended family with the grandparents was very common even in 90s, 80s and all. And then children were taken care by the extended family. You will have your Mausi, that is, Mausi is your mom's sister or your dad's sister living with you, with your family. They will take care, or your grandparents take care. All the support system was still there. Okay. So that is how family goes to the next step. Evolves continuously. And we come to our nuclear family, right? Where it's more one-to-one, strict, and lot of attached family properties to the family. So we know how much we buy. Very consumer-centric family nowadays. Lot of one home, now more than one home, additional cars, bikes, two-wheelers, and TVs, refrigerators, lot of things. And of course, children's are parents' responsibility. It is very difficult to just have the children seen or taken care by someone. You go out for a trip or something like that. You have to be there. You have to take care of your children, and you have to earn enough money to put them in education. All these are there. So it's completely parents' responsibility. So that is how family has evolved. So continuous changes only brought the family to this level, from the women-led band, to the group family, group marriages, and then we have patriarchal democratic family, patriarchal strict family, and of course patriarchal strict family with the extended family members, and the nuclear family. So that's where we are. I'm giving it a very, very, very high level. These are all like to be deeply studied. Do you think that the focus of what constitutes an important criteria in a group family affects its survivability? There may be one woman who at the time of reproduction gives attention to or mistakes a certain criteria as strength that may not be similar to another group. Did this lead to downfall of multiple societies? I don't understand this question, Madhi. Can you?
So I was just saying there are a few criterias that a woman looks for in a man at the time of choosing her partner in, say, for example, a group family situation. And you said that they give importance to these scenarios to these criteria to ensure survivability, correct?
Mhm.
And once these criteria are given importance to, what ensures the objectivity of such criteria? Say, for example, I may think that brute force is one of the criterias that I wanna see as strength. But another woman may say that farming is a strength that will ensure survivability. So, did this difference in terms of what constitutes a good criteria for survivability affect a group's downfall?
Okay, so that is the. It is not. I don't know the exact answer. This is all. I mean, no one can give the exact answer because this is all like what is it, in theory. So what would have led women to decide on the particular criteria is the observation, right? So one may be good in farming, one may be good in brute force. It depends on the situation. We see this is all like not like during till yesterday hunters and gatherers band, tomorrow group family, right? It is gradually evolving. So during the hunters and gatherers time, brute force was the important criteria, right? A man who can go and kill, a man who can run fast and survive. So the women will observe, okay, if you have a sexual relationship with that man, I can produce a better individual which can survive better. But when it comes to hunting, when it comes to farming, this will change, right? When a woman sees that, okay, this guy is good in seeding properly, he's observing how, then some mind also has to be applied, right? It's not just brute force. So that will take care. So women will observe like that. If you continuously take it down to this level, right? Even now, let's take it at this time, current times. This is subconsciously women will be selecting, right? Now, if you see that women do not worry about brute force, no one is going to come and in the night and come and kill us. We are all very safe now. So women's, what is that would be a need for the women will be completely different from what the women's need that was like some 5,000 years before, right? So currently this current requirement may be like as the Dr. Shalini, I keep watching her videos, psychiatrist Shalini. She mentions that it is how you are caring, how much care you have for your partner. So that is what women may be looking for now. So it depends on at what age, what time frame, what is the survival criteria, all this put together only that can be answered. Any other question? Give me a second, my charger is not working. Okay. Okay. So it evolved like this. Let us move on. Of course, another important institution or enterprise that keeps coming with us throughout the civilized life is religion, right? So religion is something that is there in every family, every social setup now, in the current setup, and it's not easily avoidable. So we will briefly talk about it. So what could be the origin of religion? Lot of anthropologists and sociologists, they say that pain and fear could be one major cause, right? So why the pain and fear could be the major cause is that when in the olden days, when there was even survival itself is a problem, and suddenly one day some lightning happens in the forest and it all burns, right? Or continuously rains come and then there's a flood, right? People may get killed. So this fear and pain that beyond because of the survival struggle and all, there's always a, anxiety, right? You need some kind of relief, right? So people keep observing everything. Lot of things happen from sky, right? Sky. They see that somebody is operating from sky. They may have seen that somebody may be operating from the sky. And then when fire burns, fire appears to go up, right? Fire appears to go up. So it goes up like this, right? So they think that, okay, fire is going up. So it could be something that going up to that whoever is operating, that superpower is operating from the sky, right? They started putting their offering, their hunted animal meat or grains, etc. They put in fire as an offering to reduce the anger of this superpower, whatever that causing this forest fire or that flood and all, right? So that could be one way of offering that could have probably become yagna. We do this yagna, right? Yaga or yagna. So that could be one thing of origin of yagna, yaga, or whatever we call it. So, but every society needed some relief from this pain and fear. They think that, okay, something is operating this. I want to keep a good relationship with that something, right? So that could be, again, it's very difficult to define religion, but I picked up this from Wikipedia again. So this unified system of beliefs related to sacred things is what they say. This can be debated, of course, but it is very difficult to define what is religion. We can have some definition for our discussion. So that is how religion would have evolved at the very, very initial stage. It may be some kind of power or some kind of, somebody is operating from sky, and people started offering things to this superpower. So that is how this worshipping would have started. Then, like, if you see, family slowly got organized, refined little bit, slowly in each stage, and it became a nuclear family. Like that, religion also continuously got refined and slowly became organized religion. So one of the earliest religions, if you see, it is Judaism, Vedic religion. We still shouldn't talk as Hinduism, because Hinduism is the name given later. And then Buddhism, of course, Jainism is also almost during that time. Jainism also came. And then in China and that area, we have Confucianism. So these four religions formed almost during this time. It's a wide time, of course, but it started from this Judaism. The earliest thing like Judaism and Hinduism or Vedic religion, and then we all know that Buddha lived around 500 BC. From there, it would have started, and of course, Confucianism is another one during this time frame originated in China. So if you see, and this religion, it's not like some superpower. They made it monotheism. Monotheism meaning one God, right? It's all slowly kept. If you see Judaism, so evolved into Christianity and Islam, it's all focused in one God. So that God is very angry or superpower, no questions, no other God. All these are therein. Everything is possible by this one God, right? And then Vedic religion, if you see, multiple gods, Indra, Varna, all these natures are all given shapes, and then they all become polytheism. Even now, we know that Hindu culture worship multiple gods, right? We have multiple gods. Buddhism, of course, is an atheist religion. So there is no God, only Buddha is the top, and Buddha's people started worshiping Buddha, which comes later. Buddha himself did not claim that people should worship him. So it's a philosophical system and then became a religion. Confucianism also it does not talk about God. It's again a system of philosophical ideas, and later evolved is Daoism, and then Buddhism had a lot of influence in Confucianism when it moved to China, and that's how this thing evolved. The religion started evolving in the multiple form, and everybody had their own way of talking about this God they preach, and it's an important intellectual property during that time, right? Like we have AI today. At that time, giving a path how to live, and what to do, how to give your hard-earned things to God. All these things started preached by this religion. So from birth to death, how to live, all these things, day-to-day activities started being preached by religion. So it started shaping the humans from the birth to death. That's why we have to understand this very clearly and its role in our life. Okay, so there's organized. Initially, there was just a God and fear. Some superpower is operating. Then it gets organized slowly. As the family gets organized, as the chiefs and kings evolve. So we'll quickly see how that happens. When the states get formed, right? We saw in last class, chief to king, right? When the king evolves, the king also needs a support system. For example, all kingdom, they go and fight and occupy other territories, right? That is the nature of these kingdoms. When you occupy the other territories, this new territory, people in the new territory to accept this king, right? To accept king, you need some sanction or some recommendation or whatever, maybe whatever kind of what to say. Somebody has to tell that, oh, he is your king hereafter, right? So that was done by priest class. So religion, of course, is run by priests, and this state and religion support each other. Okay, that is exactly what is even happening today. Continuously, they support each other. It's a love-hate relationship. You see, religion needs state support to expand, right? When a king comes, for example, Ashoka is one of the major patronizer of Buddhism, and he spread it throughout India, right? And of course, wherever Buddhism goes, they will say that Ashoka is such a king who is like your supreme ruler. All these thing that they spread for the people's acceptance, that king as a king, right? So they all both they all both need their support, and at the same time they have a power struggle. Who is powerful? Whether the religious priest or a ruling king, who is very powerful? That struggle will always be there between this priests and the kings, right? So they all go hand in hand. They cannot be separated. The state to survive, currently, even though some states say that they are all very what to say, secular, there is always a religious part works from behind. Somehow they sanction it, or somehow they support the state, whichever support that religion. So that goes on and on and on. So that's how religion evolves. As the king evolves, support system to support the king evolves, which is the religion does the job very well. Of course, people also need some kind of belief. We cannot just say that only this is the purpose of religion. People also need to rest, right? To get a relief from that fear, pain, and all. Religion plays that role very well, even today. Even after this advanced science and all, religion is a major relief for a lot of people, right? So that is how religion evolves. Okay, so if you see, so the humans migration we saw in the last class, then family evolution, states evaluation, evolution, state formation, and then we have religious formation and evolution. All these things, if you see, there is one underlying factor which drives all this, right? What is that underlying factor? It is the economy. So all social changes are driven by economics, okay? So we see this also changed from the early hunters and gatherers. There is not much economy to talk about, but still the food or the stay or the even very little property like the bow and arrow, all these tools are all part of this system which defines their sustenance, right? So so what is economy? So just for our discussion, we can say that the goods and materials that you need to sustain the society, right? Simply put together. So for hunters and gatherers itself, it's a simple economy. And then we have a yearly agrarian economy with the slavery coming in picture. We just discussed that when there are two groups that were fighting each other, and if in hunters and gatherers they kill, if the one group wins, other group is completely killed. But in agrarian, the slavery was part of it, and so they will make them work in the field, and there was no salary for these slaves, right? So food is produced, all these grains are produced and it's all saved, no salary, right? So slavery society, there is no pay, but we still have a simple economy where your basic survival of grains, your meat that you hunt and bring, your cattle, especially livestock, that's all there as part of in the economic process, right? And then we go into feudal system where we get some pay. Those who work in the field, they get them pay, but still this is an agrarian society. And then we go into industrial revolution, take it as to capitalism, which we will quickly see. But if you see why I am talking about this, all this thing is, it drives change. Economy drives change. It pushes people to, or humans to, move forward, right? Very important part that we that everything is aligned to family, your what is that, your religion, culture, all these will be aligned to economy. It has to, because everything else is, it is like saying, right, your sustenance is more important. Everything is aligned to that. So that's what is played by economy. Okay. So the yearly barter system, you have simple economy where you exchange, right? We know that from a lot of from our childhood textbook itself, we know that barter system had exchange goods. But if you see, you have tomatoes, you want potato to be exchanged. But I have also tomato, I don't have potato. I want something else, right? So it is very difficult to exchange goods when you are just exchanging whatever you have with. Whatever you have, you cannot just exchange because others may not need it, right? So we want to have a common commodity so that it can be exchanged easily, right? The common commodity, a lot of times, if you see the origin of money, again, that's a big topic. I'm not going into that. But origin and development of money shows that there was a lot of common commodity which was used for transaction, like rice, right? Or maize or corn. It is a common commodity. They will say, okay, 1 kg of tomato may be equal to 2 kg of rice. So everybody will transact in terms of rice, right? But if you see over a period of time, the rice will decay. You can't store it. You can store it if you are consuming. If you have more rice, then it's going to decay. Same for corn, right? Everything will decay continuously. It may decay. You cannot keep it stored for a long time. Then they slowly found out, oh, okay, how can I avoid decaying? How can I avoid some commodity? How can I have a commodity which will not decay? So that's how metals have evolved as a transaction and common commodity. But even in metal, if you use iron oxide will form. If you just leave the iron in air, it will react with the oxygen, will form iron oxide. Aluminium, silver, everything has it. Only gold or similar some metals stable. They don't form gold oxide if you just leave it in the air. So it is because its outermost electrons are all fulfilled, so it will not react easily. So gold is one metal, usually is very useless Actually, it is very useless metal. You can't farm anything out of it. It can't easily react. So, but that gold has become a common commodity initially. And then that gold, then of course, when it is common commodity, you can save it. You can buy it, anything. So it become very precious. But then when you have to have this gold as a common commodity, it is very difficult to make that gold which is exchangeable, right? It is very difficult to exchange gold. So, and then just for a small bag of rice, how much gold will I exchange? As the gold becomes more and more precious, they made a currency, paper currency. That's how slowly money evolves, which is actually one of the major driving factor of this economic system, from barter system to this current stage. Okay. So as we saw, as you know, economy is one of the major driving factor. Everything else falls in align with it. So one of the two major driving factor for this economy is culture and politics, right? Because this is completely continuously affecting us. And all this culture and politics, since it's part of our system, culture here, you may call it religion. Religion and culture has very close links. And also politics, how how do you control this economy? That is a more important aspects, right? So when we will see little more details of politics little later if time permits. But we see who controls the economy, controls everything. But how do you control the economy? Through culture and politics. That's why you will see a lot of political parties talk about this, and everything else. You do everything that your culture, your way of life. Of course, culture is way of life. Your religion, everything is aligned to something related to economy. If you deeply think about it, it may not appear at the top level, but if you dig deep, dive deep, you will know, okay, because of this religious people talk about this. Because of this politician talk about this. Because of these economical reasons, these things are, this guy in a advertisement talks about it, right? So all these things align to economy and how to drive it and all. So as we moved, we come to this current economic system, which is capitalism. So we know that in the world of barter system and all, there was one, not even in a farmers feudal setup, people produce and come to market and sell, right? People produce, come to market and sell. Then they may buy something from the market and go. Whatever they need, they will buy from that market and go. Right, that was the system. But to produce something, for example, a carpenter or weaver make a basket, all tools to make the basket will be available with that weaver or whoever that person making basket, right? But as the industrial revolution progresses, where steam engine, after the invention of steam engine, we have organized workforce. That means people come together in one place called factory, and produce together. Very highly specialized production system, where one person will know in the basket how, or in the cloth, one person will know only dyeing, one person will know weaving, one person will know just to handle the threads. All these things, because the factory is now a place where we come together and work, and it's a specialized skill, and not one person can do end to end. There is no end to end production, no end to end skill, I will say, right? Everybody has to know certain part of it, and they will do that part, and then finally a product comes out. So that is the change happens in this economy, and everything is considered as all relationships are economical relationship. In capitalism, all relationship is an economical relationship. That is, even your family relationship, everything is organized as an economical relationship. We can talk about it little later, more in details. But if you see, you depend on your parents or your kids depend on you, there's an economic reasons, right? So it is not just what to say, just because of family binding and all. It's all there, of course, but everything if they advertise, and if you see that advertisement, everything that they make, your relationship with your family members will be, there will be economical part associated with it. You can't avoid. That is how this current relationship is going on. That is why nuclear family face a lot of pressure in this consumeristic society. We can, that's again a very lengthy topic. I'm just giving a very, very high level just for understanding. So everything else also will fall in aligned to this economic system, right? At any point of time, whatever that economic system was there, your education, religion, your family, everything will be aligned to that. So in our current education system, we workforce should be free of children, right? The current education system, in the olden days, there is no systematic education, but currently we have systematic education. We should be free, the workforce. When this industrial revolution happened, you see that factories automated, right? To operate these machines, you need skills. So, and we need a lot of workforce to produce. Men and women has to go to work. Where will the children be? So you need school. School is one thing which we invented to leave the children there and go to work. That is how, in fact, I was also surprised when I read that. But school is something, it's invented, current form, school in this current form is invented to satisfy the industrial workforce. Similarly, to operate these machines, you need skills. Who will impart this skill to the workforce? That is government. Instead of the business owners, government has to impart this workforce. That's why you have universal education. Okay. So skill development shall be done by state. So our current system goes through this, and we have a factory system which will put together kids in different parts, and then you get set of doctors, engineers, or carpenters, etc., etc. So if you see the current system, we are perfectly aligned to the current economics. Current education system is perfectly aligned to the current economics, right? Similarly, for the olden system, their education was aligned to their economic system. So like that, the economy is something that drives your change. So all this family, organization of family, evolution of family, religion and its evolution, formation, organization, and your education system, your healthcare, everything is aligned to your current economic system. Okay, so understanding that economic system is very important, but we just had a very, very high level overview of this system. So this is what I wanted to discuss today. I use these following books: Ancient Society by Henry Morgan. This one gives us good understanding of the family and social setup. And Romila Thappar's Ancient India is an excellent introduction on how Indian setup evolved. And then Great Transformation by Karen Armstrong. This is another beautiful explanation of religion. It's almost like a thriller book you can read, how these people found out various religious ideas and how that evolved. This book itself can be a separate session actually. So these are the books that I used for this session. It's a very, very high level overview of these various things. Each can be, say, separate course itself, of course. Any question? Or any difficulties you faced in understanding?
I don't. This is Prasanna. Okay, it's not a specific question or difficulty in understanding, but I found that the evolution of social structure from an animal-based structure to our present and the economic evolution and the present social structure, it's beautiful. I mean, last 1 hour, enjoyed the evolution of it. I just wanted to convey that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's a very, very interesting topic. My favorite subject is this, how this whole economic system operates, given that and how it's aligned any other social enterprise like family, religion, all these are how it's aligned with economics. Something amazes me. And going forward, in next session, we will start the scientific steps that humans took. And again, that is all related to economy of that particular situation. So we will talk about that. So if there is no other question, of course, you can see this recording in the LMS that we are using. Okay. Okay, then. Have a good rest of the weekend.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.